Yo, what is up, you guys? So, today I haven't posted in a few days, just, I don't know, thinking about ideas, and, I don't know, stuck. So, anyway, I sort of want to shift more into the computer technology of side, and, like, honestly, just, like, phones, they're so simple, like, yeah, too simple for me. So, let's get into some computer hardware. For now, is the GTX 1060 worth it in 2019? So, I have a lot to say about this card. It was released all the way back in 2016, so, like over 2.5 years ago, about. And, yeah, I just want to talk about it. Is it worth it in 2019? So, basically, you can find this card for around, like, 200, somewhere in the 200-ish mark. And the, well, I guess RTX 26, wait. Yeah, RTX 2060. Wow, that's gonna take a lot to get used to. I'm so used to saying GTX. Okay, so the RTX 2060 versus, I guess, the GTX 1060. I guess the RTX 2060 goes for $350 retail, but it can go all the way to like 400 on like some more higher end models of the card. So that can get expensive. Okay, so if you want me to do a computer build with this card, feel free to let me know. So basically, there's two variants of this card, unlike the RTX 2060, which only has one variant. Basically, there's a 6 GB one and a 3 GB one. So, the VRAM that it's using is the classic GDDR5 VRAM. It is, well, so it's not only about, okay, so basically, like I said, there's VRAM, there's a difference in VRAM. I'm sorry, I'm just losing my thoughts. But that's not it. CUDA cores, it has reduced CUDA cores as well. So basically, the GTX 1066 GB has 1280 CUDA cores, and the 1063 GB only has 1152. Now, honestly, like, that's fine, I guess, but honestly, right now, I can't recommend the GTX 1063 GB because it's only like $10 to $20 cheaper. So, yeah. Okay, anyway, they both have a boost clock of 1.4 times, or 1708 megahertz. It has what else? It's 8 GB bandwidth. And yeah, that covers like all the technical specifications. But the other thing is, well, with that out of the way, how will it actually perform in real world use? So say you pair it with something like, maybe you would want to pair it with like a Ryzen, maybe like a 1600 or a 2600, or on the Intel side, maybe like an i5-8400. You don't really need to go higher, and you shouldn't really go lower. But it's, I want to say, like, you get, sorry. Okay, you basically, you get, it's more like an 80% difference between the 2060. It's sometimes double, averaging around 80%. That's what I mean to say. So, that's not terrible by any means, but depends on the game, granted, but, like, say, even, like, something like Apex Legends, Black Ops 4, what else? Fortnite, even League of Legends, but frankly, this will still play games. It used to be a 1440p card, but now it's just a 1080p card. The RTX 2060 it can handle like 1440p really well, and it can handle 4K, but you have to like turn down the settings. This is like 1080p card, and it like, even like games like Rocket League, League of Legends, CS:GO, you can play those at 1440p, and at some cases, of course, lowering the settings, you can even play it at 4K. It's VR ready, labeled, well, NVIDIA, and it supports G-Sync, but if you're getting this card, you're probably not looking to do that. No SLI, but if you want SLI, you should know, why are you even considering this card? If you are willing to spend, if you're willing to buy 2 of them, just get a better card. It's compatible with DirectX 12 and Vulkan. It supports Windows 10, 8, and 7, but you should be on Windows 10 if you're buying this card, to be frank. Okay, anyway, moving on to thermals. Now, this is interesting. It pulls about 120 watts of the unit, and of course that is it uses a 6-pin connector, and NVIDIA does recommend that you have a 400 watt power supply with that, but no, I'd say you might want like a 506 or 600 watt power supply to go along with your GTX 1060, because 400 I just don't think is enough. It just doesn't really give you the room. Yeah, it can support up to 3 monitors, so if you want it for like a workstation, but if you are looking to get a workstation, you should probably pair the card up with something more like an i7 or a Ryzen 7, or like a like an 8700, 9900, or like a 2700X on the AMD side. Or just wait for Ryzen 3rd generation, which I will cover in another video. Okay, anyway, for editing, it's great, honestly. Colors are really good on the card, but again, pair it with at least 16 gigabytes of RAM if you're going to do editing, and a good CPU, like an i5 or an i3 for sure will struggle with this card. Or even if you have like something higher, I'd still recommend you get a really good CPU. Okay, anyway, bandwidth on the 1060 is 192, and then it's a 192-bit card. You know, these are, yeah, those are basically, it has 2 HDMIs and 1 DisplayPort. Yeah. In other words, this card is, yeah, I can just go on and on about like stuff that will probably go over most people's head, but you know, I think it's a good card. I have no complaints if you are on a budget, but even like if like Nvidia on their site, it's selling it for 300, and for that I just cannot recommend it. But if you get it on sale for like used, like I've seen it as low as like 200, even like 190 sometimes. That is rare though. I'd say definitely pick it up. But if you can afford to get the 2060, I highly recommend that, because CUDA-Core's bandwidth, even the VRAM itself, it has GDDR6, which is a massive improvement. If you want a comparison, the performance is about identical to the GTX 1080. So RTX 2060 is like a GTX 1080, but of course it has RTX, which ray tracing for Battlefield 1. Or I guess if more games want to implement, the developers have like a choice what they can use RTX for. Okay, anyway, that is about all I want to talk about. 1080p thumbs up, 1440p esports. 4K, no. The 2060 can do 4K esports, and then 1440p and 1080p just fine. Even like 240 hertz refresh rate monitors, they can even do that. Yeah, basically. I will do a full comparison for the 2060 versus the 1060 if you guys want to see that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Remember to subscribe. Like, actually, if we hit 70 subscribers, that would be really cool. 70 subscribers. Let's try to get there. Just whenever we can. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of your guys' support. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much. Peace out.